Hey guys, thanks for showing up and watching. In this magic tutorial video, I want to talk about Mnemonica stack a card at any number trick, or ACAAN. And there are a couple different ways you can do this, all right? And I'm going to share kind of a couple different methods that you can do a card at any number using Mnemonica stack. I know this has been kind of requested by some people, so I've been wanting to make this video. If it's your first time, go ahead and consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you know when new videos are uploaded, and I'll be bringing more magic tutorials as I get more and more subscribers and views. Guys, so let's get into it. If you don't know what Mnemonica stack is, watch some of my previous videos, the Mnemonica stack tutorial. Basically, you have the deck arranged in a certain arrangement, and you know ahead of time what that arrangement is, and you have it memorized, every card at each number, right? I actually didn't have time to put this into Mnemonica stack, but it doesn't matter. I can still explain everything as it needs to be. So basically, there are a couple different ways you can approach this, all right? Now, there are some professionals out there who sell tricks. Well, basically, what they're doing is they have somebody name a card, and then also maybe somebody else name a number, or the same person name a number. And then what you have to do is, knowing the stack, you have to place that card at that number, right? And the way that's done is by using some math, okay? This is really not my favorite way, because for me it just takes like too much mental gymnastics going on, but I guess if you practice it enough, some people are really good at this. So for example, what would I give as an example? If somebody said like the King of Diamonds, for example, or actually we'll say something lower down. If somebody said like the Two of Spades, right? And then they said 16. Okay, well, the Two of Spades is 10th in Mnemonica stack, right? So you've got to figure out how to get that card, which is number 10, into the 16th position. And so the way you would do that is you would add 6 cards on top of the deck, right? So then you have to figure out, and this is really almost like what they call jazzing. You've just got to think or figure out ahead of time what's your favorite method to do that. Okay, so you could do anything such as, your card's not on top, and, it's not on the bottom, right? And you could add 3 cards and say it's not here. Normally I wouldn't do that for 6 cards. I would do that for, like, if you're trying to add like 2 or 3 cards, that actually works better. But at that point, you can now count down in the deck 16 cards, and you'll hit the Two of Spades, right? Some other methods are, when you're doing as far as getting the position, is kind of knowing the deck and riffling down and getting a break wherever you need to get the break. And then at that point you can do like a double undercut or whatnot, whatever needs to be done to get however many cards on top of the deck. Or if you need to, the reverse is get a number of cards off of the deck. So in that example, when they said Two of Spades and they said, what did I say, 16? Well, if they had said 6, well, then you have to do the opposite. You've got to get 4 cards off the top of the deck somehow. You could push over 4 somehow and double undercut those to the bottom. And now you're going to have the Two of Spades at number 6 down from the deck, okay? So there's like a number of methods to get the card in the right position, but that's basically what it entails. And I'm sorry I couldn't explain that better. It's just, it's one of those concepts, and it's called jazz magic. It's one of those concepts where you just really have to think on the fly and really be comfortable with what you're doing, for it to work and for it to work seamlessly. And like I said, that's not my favorite method, but I've seen that used actually by professionals. So kind of my favorite method is to do a force. Okay, so if you have them name a card, right, and then you're going to force the number on them instead of asking them to name a number. You force the number, right? So in that example, if someone said the 2 of spades, I would have to force the number 10 on them. And there's different ways you can do number forces. I won't cover them in this video because it'll be too long, but check the description. In the future I may make some videos on like the toxic force and a watch force. That's actually pretty good too. And basically you could do like the toxic force with a calculator to force the number 10 on them. You count down 10, you hit the 2 of spades. Or there's another one with a watch, which was like it's like a Richard Osserlin thing, and I believe Peter Turner also uses it. I've used it before, but it uses a wristwatch, and you can do a force that way. And maybe I'll make let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on that. I can make that. That's actually my favorite way because, like I said, you don't have to do all kind of mental gymnastics. You don't have to do too much of trying to maneuver the cards around and get the card into the right place, right? Another problem with that original method I shared with you is that it can get really complicated. You know, if someone, I don't know, says like, I don't know, just Tom has like the Jack of spades and the number 20, like sometimes you just got to do some crazy calculations in your head, right? And I mean, if you practice it enough, there's methods, there's I don't know exactly, I've forgotten, I used to be able to do it at one point, but it's basically like if the number is higher than the card, you subtract from 53, and if the number is lower than the card, you subtract from the number. I can't remember exactly, but if you think about it, you can figure out a method for yourself on how to do that. Let's see, another method is, and this is kind of a cool method I like, is to basically, well, one thing you can do is you can ask for the card and the number, and if what they say is close enough, like within 5 cards or so, then you can just basically do what I said before. You can finagle the deck. You can get 3 cards to the bottom, 3 cards to the top, whatever you need to do without having to do too much altering of the position of the deck. That's when you get lucky, right? And you can, and sometimes maybe they'll even say the exact number, right? Exact card. They may say 2 of spades and 10. There you go, just deal down, you got it, right? I mean, you can even do like a false shuffle before that. So what I was going to say, the next way I was going to say to do it is, okay, so this is where a lot of professionals will use, this is the way a lot of professionals will use Mnemonica. Not necessarily for a card at any number, but just for any trick. Basically, Mnemonica is good as a control in the sense that you can have somebody name a card, and then you can get that card under your control without them having to select a card, because normally, you know, they select a card and then you know where the card is, so like maybe you controlled it, right? But in this case, it's like you just got the deck and someone names like the Ace of Spades, and it looks like you've done a false shuffle, so it looks like you'd have no idea where that card is, and you'd have no way to access it. But basically, what you do is, let's say they say, you know, the Ace of Spades, and you know that's 7 down. Well, you can just kind of get to about where you think it is, and you can riffle up and have a peek, and when you know you've got it, you put your pinky on top of it, and then you do like a double undercut, and now you've got it on the top, right? Or you do that method I said before where you count off 6 cards, however you want to do it. I've seen Aaron Fisher, he has a method where he will knowingly cut, he'll miscut, where he leaves a good chunk of, not a good, but you know, maybe like 10 cards or less on top of where he knows the card is, and then he can easily get to the card from there and cut it and get it to the top of the deck, basically. But anyway, you want to figure out a way in which you can get the card named to the top or bottom of the deck. Okay? And then maybe I can, and then you want to do any kind of, there are numerous different ways that you can do a card at any number where the card is on top or bottom of the deck. And these are independent, these are not mnemonica tricks. These are just like basic magic tricks where you control the card to the top. And then you do some kind of method to look like, you know, if someone, so this 10 of hearts is on top, you know, they said 8, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the 8th card, okay, it was the 10 of hearts. Sorry, it's a bad camera angle. I didn't mean to actually perform for you guys. But anyway, you figure out how to switch the card in. You could do second deals, right? You could do a number of second deals, and then when you get to their card, there it is. You can do, if it's second from the bottom, right? You could do a simple glide. You know, they say whatever number they want, and you do the glide. You know, you do the glide until you, sorry, I should be working on a table, but anyway, they said 4. There you go, there's your 4th card. Oh, what is it? It's the 10 of hearts, right? So you could do the glide. You could do a bottom deal. You know, it could be on the bottom, and once you get to their card, then boom, out comes, you do a bottom deal. Sorry, if I was set up better, I could actually show you all these, but I didn't want to because it would make the video like way too long. So anyways, those will have to be separate tutorials for each of those methods. But this was just giving you kind of an understanding of how you can use Mnemonica for ACAAN or card at any number. So those are some of the basic methods. Like I said, I like that method too. The forcing method is my favorite, but that method is pretty good too. It can be a little difficult though to get the card controlled into the top or bottom of the deck, and that can take some confidence. That's also called jazz magic, and that takes a little bit of effort. So all of these are kind of advanced, except for the second method. My favorite is a little bit easier to do. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll try to come out with some more tutorials to explain some of this more, or else this video would have been too long, guys. But if you found any value, hit that like button and share this so I can bring you more free magic tutorials and videos. And guys, subscribe, and till the next time, thanks for watching and keep practicing. All right, guys, bye.